Hare Krishna. I would like to thank all the devotees who are assembled today to hear the next phase of Bhagavad Gita second chapter discussion, especially on Paramartha topic. Very, very important. This is a condensed version of Bhagavad Gita where Lord Krishna elaborately spoke about the concept of Paramartha, Swadharma, Parodharma. So, Parodharma, the Paramartha, elaborately discussed in Bhagavad Gita, condensed in second chapter and presented in a most beautiful way by Lord Krishna. So, we are going to discuss how can we understand devotional service to Lord Krishna in a very simpler, nutshell way. So, Lord Krishna, that's why I have called this topic as one vision in many missions. What is mean by one vision in many missions? Because each and every individual of us, when we are born with many dreams and we want to achieve many, many things in this world. And while trying to actually fulfill those, we forget the real mission of the human existence. Today we are going to discuss this Paramartha or Parodharma very, very elaborately. And Lord Krishna speaks this Parodharma topic more elaborately in the following chapters. So how can we keep one vision while doing many responsibilities in this world? Very important. So let us try to understand. Now, let me recap what we discussed last time. We discussed more elaborately about the Swadharma. So Lord Krishna elaborately discussed about Swadharma. Swadharma api chaveksha. Lord Krishna starts with identify, O Arjuna, identify your bodily platform as a Kshatriya. You need to fight. You cannot run away from this battlefield. Hence, on this Swadharma concept, Krishna educates Arjuna his bodily responsibilities as a Kshatriya, and similar to Arjuna, all of us have bodily responsibility in this world. We might have a Brahmana quality or a Kshatriya quality or a Vaishya or a Shudra quality or predominant any one of these qualities, but it's a mixture of all. Because today's world, no one is actually a pure Brahmana or a pure Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra. So because of these qualities, we are driven in this world to achieve something. And this bodily qualities drives us with worldly desires. This worldly desires leads us with looking for some worldly results. But the problem with this bodily occupation as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra is that no matter how much you earn in this world, there is always a fear that you might lose. Nehapi kramanashostri pratyavayona vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahatobhayat. Nehapi kramanashostri nashaha asti pratyavaya vidyate. Pratyavaya, problem with pratyavaya is Bhagavad Gita explains that as you develop certain goals in this world while trying to, achieve that goal, by the time you achieve that goal, the time has elapsed. You might have earned $1 million by the age of 50, but you had $1 million by the age of 25. You could have more opportunity to enjoy than at the age of 50. Hence, the time already has defeated your goal. That is pratyavaya. We discussed about the two ends of the clothes, the being held by two people and they are, squeezing to take out water. So hope you remember, when you take out, squeeze the cloth in a reverse direction, initially the water comes out. But after some time, the water loses. So you have to put more squeezing power to get little bit drops out. Similarly, like our body. With the aged body, we have our ability to enjoy decreases, but the desire keeps on increasing because function of the mind is to produce desire. Function of the body is to satisfy those desires. Body loses its capability, but mind never loses its capability to generate desires. Hence, it is a fear-filled Swadharma. If you are just focusing on Swadharma, it is fear-filled. Hence, it is very, very important to engage in Nehabhikramanashosti Pratyavayona Vidyate Swalpamapyasya Dharmasya. Lord says, Swalpamapyasya, even if you do little bit of Parodharma, it releases you from all kinds of fear, because you might have been a scientist this life, you might have achieved, you might be a scientist, have understood the entire material functionalities of this world, but once you die, once you take back, take next birth again, next life, you have to start from Baba Balakship. Next life, start reading again. So whatever knowledge you accumulate, whatever wealth you accumulate in this world, it pratyavayah, nashah, diminishes and dies. This is the nature of the results of our Swadharma. But the results of our Parodharma stays with us life after life after life. Hence it's very, very important. Yogastha kuru karmani Sangam Tyaktva Dhananjaya. Lord Krishna says in future verses, Yogastha, you need to perform yoga, O Arjuna. So we'll understand what is this Parodharma is all about in this. So this is what I was speaking about, the Swadharma and the Parodharma. Yeah? So we are going to discuss more elaborately on the Parodharma in few moments now. Yeah. So everyone in this world are caught up with dreams. I want to achieve this. I want to become a millionaire. I want to have a bungalow. I want to have control of everything in this world. I want to have many followers. Many dreams in this world. So it's a normal thing. Each and every person having taken birth is having some dreams. So we release our own balloons of different colors. These balloons signifies our various dreams we have in this world. So the first instruction Lord Krishna gives on the Parodharma. Let us read this. The 41st verse from the second chapter. Vyavasayatmika buddhar yekeha kuru nandana bahushakahi anantascha buddhayo avyavasayinam. Lord Krishna says, Vyavasayatmika buddhir yekeha kuru nandana. O son of Kuru, Vyavasaya atmika. What does Vyavasaya means? Whenever whoever you meet today's world, you ask, what is your Vyavasaya? Vyavasaya means occupation. Let us read the meaning. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose and their aim is one. O beloved child of Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. So Vyavasaya, the occupation, Lord Krishna introduces the first instruction of Parodharma with Atmikaha, occupational duty of the soul. Today everyone are engrossed in the occupation of the body, because many people do not understand what is the occupation of the soul, what is the occupation of the body, because most people don't even try to understand we are not this body, we are the soul. They might have heard from their grandfathers, but absolutely have no interest to invest time in how to apply this knowledge. And everyone, today's world, are in the rat race with bodily identification. But Lord Krishna here saying, Buddhir, the intelligent person is investing his time in what? Vyavasayatmikaha, occupational duty for soul. Very, very important instruction. Yekeha kurunandanaha. His only aim in life is to perform occupation duty for soul, not for the body. Now, you can see that Krishna told Arjuna, Swadharma api chaveksha. You have to perform your Swadharma. You are a Kshatriya, you need to fight in the battlefield. Now, immediately Lord Krishna shifts his vision from Swadharma to the Parodharma. Now he says, your only aim in life is only one, which is Vyavasayatmikaha, perform the occupation duty of the soul. What is occupation of the duty of the soul? Because I know I'm so and so, I'm BA, Tech educated, I lived in Australia for 12 years, I work for a bank, and I have a family with 2 children, I have a bungalow in Mysore, I earn so much. These are all bodily identification. But what is occupation duty of the soul? Vyavasayatmikaha. And Lord Krishna says intelligent person. He defines who is the intelligent person in the 41st verse. He says intelligent person is aim is only one, which is to focus on the occupation duty of the soul. Bahushakahi anantascha. Just look at the umbrellas we have. So many umbrellas. We keep on releasing one umbrella after the another umbrella with the different colors in this life. An umbrella with the different desires. An umbrella with a different goal. An umbrella with some achievement you want to do. So some umbrella with some identification you want to have in this life. Some umbrella with with a motivation to gain attention in this world. An umbrella with a desire to control. An umbrella with having, an empire. So, everyone in this world, Bahushakahi Anantascha, Lord Krishna clearly, elaborately tells this, that Bahushakahi, everyone are having, multiple identities, multiple visions, multiple goals. Anantascha, unlimited amount of desires we have in this world. Every desire we release one umbrella. Lord Krishna calls them Abuddhayo. They are the most foolish people in this world because Avyavasayinaha. Because in this rat race of trying to satisfy unlimited amount of desires that is coming out from us, Avyavasayinaha, we have forgotten the occupational duty for the soul. Very, very important verse. This Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of our movement, tells this is the verse which gave me the determination to move to US at the fagging age of 68. Or 65 years, in his 60s, he went to US with only 30 rupees in his hand because he wanted to distribute the message of Krishna to all the fallen souls of this world. Very important verse. So, I want to give an example. You might have seen this marathon, right? This marathon of a long marathon of, running, 15 kilometers, 25 kilometers, 50 kilometers, they run for hours and hours. Yeah? In this running, while they are running, their families will be very, very curious to know how they are running. They will be standing beside the road. And these people, while they are running, the family wish them. So they handshake with them, but they never forget their goal. their goal is to reach the finish point. The finish point is long, long way to go. In this journey of marathon, their family greets them, they're happy. They take their blessings, they keep running forward. Some people offer them juice, some people offer them some meals, but they don't stop their running. They pick up the juice and they keep running and they drink that juice while they are running. Some people offer them the lunch buffet on the road itself. They pick up a sandwich and they keep running, they are eating. Some people actually glorify them irrespective of all this glorification, they call their name, they cheer out, but they never get distracted. They keep running because they know that they need to reach the goal, finish point. And once they finish, the finish point is the most important milestone of that individual. So all the ingredients that were offered to them during their journey are all the facilities of this world. Their family were there cheering them. Some people gave them food. Some people offered them water. Some people emotionally, gave them more enthusiasm, cheered for them. All those things are the facility that is offered. They are not goals. These runners of the marathon, they understand that they are not the goals. They are just the facilities, but our goal is to finish, the finishing point. So, in our journey also, we get so many supporting ingredients like wealth, beauty, power, fame. They are all facilities, but they are not the goal. Earning wealth is not the goal. It is just a facility to lead us life. Beauty is not the goal. It might be a facility. Similarly, power and fame. Very, very important. So, vyavasayatmikaha buddhir ekeha kurunandanaha. An athlete who is in the marathon, if an intelligent athlete doesn't get distracted with the people on the roadside cheering for him, he knows his goal he has to reach. Ekeha kurunandanaha. He is resolute in his purpose. He keeps running. Bahusha kahi anantasya. If people, weak-hearted, having so many other desires, they leave the marathon in the halfway itself. So similarly, we should never get attracted with the facilities of this world. You might have a Nissan car, you might have a Skoda car, or you might have a Porsche car, or different models of car. Doesn't matter, depending upon your previous karma, you get different kinds of car. In the rat race of achieving higher gradation of cars, if we forget to actually feed the driver who is driving the car, one day, irrespective of what kind of car you have today, I might have a posh Skoda car with wealth and beauty. All these cars signifies what? These cars signifies I have certain kind of wealth, I have certain kind of fame, I have certain kind of beauty, I have certain kind of power, prestige, fame. This is nothing but different kinds of cars. But while accumulating the car, don't forget the driver. You are the driver in the car, you are not the car. While you are spending your life in this journey, taking care of the car, don't forget the driver. Because food to the driver is different, food to the car is different. Food to the driver is different. Unless or until you don't give food to the driver, no matter you might do a maintenance of the car nicely, but what is the use? The driver gets frustrated, accumulating new designs of car every after a certain period of time. But nothing is going to satisfy him till he realigns his focus to the driver and understands he is the driver, now he is not the car. That is the meaning of 41st verse. Understand you are a driver. As soon as you are a driver, immediately what comes? Vyavasayatmikaha buddhir. I need to perform the occupation duty for the driver. What is the occupation duty for the driver? I need to feed food to the driver. I cannot give oil, petrol, air, all those things I cannot give because car lives by that, but food to the driver is different. Similarly, we can have a bungalow, we can have a family, we can have a wealth. This is nothing but taking care of our car, that is body. What is about the driver which is sitting within the body? What food we are giving, that is the paramartha, that is the parodharma. We need to understand this. What is that vyavasaya? What is the occupation duty of the soul? So, this 41st verse, Lord Krishna is not telling you that stop dreaming. No, he is not telling you to stop dreaming. But realign your dreams. Goals are not the obstacles in this life, but the destinations are the obstacles. You can have varieties of car, no problems, but what are you going to do with that car is very, very important. You need to have an understanding how to utilize the facility for vyavasayatmikaha buddhir. You might have many goals, but you need to have one vision. You might have many missions, but you need to have one vision. What is that one vision? I might have a wealth. You need to get one vision that let me utilize this wealth in the service of Krishna. Let me satisfy him. Let me serve him unconditionally. Let me utilize all my wealth in serving the humanity. Pleasing Krishna. That is the one vision. That is vyavasayatmikaha. That is parodharma. Swadharma was to earn money. Parodharma is to utilize the money in the service of Krishna. Swadharma is to study. I need to study well in my exam. Parodharma is by studying, let me become like Arjuna, outstanding like Arjuna, so that I can be empowered to serve in the community in a better way for the satisfaction of Krishna. Studying was Swadharma, but engaging in your studies to become empowered to serve Krishna is the Parodharma. I want a beautiful wife and children. Let me earn, have a nice occupation, nice job, nice house. All those are Swadharma. Let me take care of my family in such a way that all of them become God conscious and value driven individual is Parodharma. See, Swadharma and Parodharma are so subtle. Without Swadharma, Parodharma cannot exist. So how to transform my Swadharma to Parodharma is the art of Bhagavad Gita. Can I get the book, please? How to transform my life of Swadharma to Parodharma is Bhagavad Gita. This is what the Bhagavad Gita teaches us. Oh my Lord, my happiness is serving you. Let me utilize all the facility what I have to serve you. That is vyavasayatmika buddhir yekeha kurunandanaha bahushakahi anantascha buddhayo avyavasayinaha. I might have many missions in my life, but let me develop one vision, that is to serve Krishna. Then all your missions have a perfect ending because you have utilized each and every skills, talents and facilities in your life for serving Krishna, serving humanity. That is the goal of human life. You see, in the first instruction of Parodharma itself, how intelligently Lord Krishna elaborates and gives the summary of Parodharma, summary of Bhagavad Gita. This is the summary of Bhagavad Gita, the entire Bhagavad Gita. Now Lord Krishna elaborates. This is in nutshell, Lord Krishna gives in one verse. So, the next verse, 42nd, 43rd verse. Yami mam pushpitam vacham pravadhanti avipaschitah vedavadaratah partha nanyadastiti vadinah kamatmana swargapara janma karma palapradhan kriya vishesha bahulam bhogaishwarya gatim prati. See, the second instruction of Parodharma, Lord Krishna introduces the Veda, which Lord Krishna only created. And Lord Krishna created this Veda, Vedanta Krit Veda Videha Chaham. Lord Krishna says in the 15th verse of the 15th chapter that I am the knower of the Veda, I am the creator of the Veda, I am the one who is to be known and who is to be followed after reading the Veda. Narayana Paroveda. Yeah. So what is this Veda is all about? Veda is the instruction manual. Today everyone says, if I say please read Bhagavad Gita, no, I want to read Veda first. But in today's world, in Kali Yuga, our life is so short spanned. If we try to read Vedas, we will just get confused. We will not be able to understand what is the aim of our human life, because Veda is very, very broad based, a holistic vision the Veda has. Some of the sections of the Vedas tells you how to enjoy this world. Some sections of the Vedas tells you how to earn wealth. Some sections of the Vedas says how to keep up health. Some sections of the Vedas says how to get beautiful wife or a gorgeous husband. These are all Karma Kanda sections of the Vedas. People not understanding the purpose of the Vedas, if they just jump into reading Vedas, they get caught up with the flowery words of the Vedas. That's why Lord Krishna here says, men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to the heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. Yamimam pushpitam vacham. Pushpitam vacham means what? Flowery words. Pravodanti avipaschitaha. Avipaschita means one who is not intelligent. He takes the book Vedas and he tells, see, this Vedas tells me how to become a very wealthy man. Vedas tells me how to get a beautiful wife. Vedas tells me how to earn money. Vedas tells me how to get, how to become famous in this world. Pravadanti avipaschitaha Vedavadarataha Partha. Vedavadarataha Partha. O Partha, O Arjuna, after reading this, they become saying that Veda is all in all. Nanyat astiti vadinaha. There is nothing other than earning money, getting beautiful wife, having good number of followers, and becoming famous. This is what the Vedas gives. Dharmartha kama moksha. And in this thinking about dharma, the Vedas they start, moksha they want to achieve, but they get trapped, and dharma, artha kama, they get entire life spent on artha, earning money, kama, enjoying money. That's it. This dharma is also gone, moksha is also gone. That is today's world, we do not have that ability to understand Vedas with a proper context. How to understand this? So, why the Vedas are introduced like this? Why did they say that do this for wealth, do this for money? Why was that? Because there are rebellious people who do not believe in God. If you longer vision of loving service to the God, rebellious people says, I don't believe in God, give me, I want to earn wealth, I need to enjoy in this world, please do not disturb me. So in this process of enjoyment, these rebellious people, they might take sinful activities of achieving the goal of enjoyment. Hence, these Shastras are given, these Vedas are given, sure, if you want to earn wealth, take this Veda, it is a guiding principle for you to earn different aims of your life. As soon as they see that there is a process to be followed for achieving all this, people become happy. Rebellious people, they say, okay, we will follow. Okay, you tell me to perform this yajna to achieve my wealth. Okay, I will perform this yajna. You will tell me to recite these verses for getting a beautiful wife. Okay, I will do this. You tell me to recite these verses or follow this process for getting a nice job. Okay, I will do it. At least these rebellious people do not become a demons in this world, living the Vedic principles of achieving goals. For example, a person is smoking 20 packs of cigarette every day and is suffering from breathing problem. He goes to the doctor. Doctor says, open your mouth. Looking at the cancerous cells in the mouth, he tells, what is your life habit? What is your lifestyle? If the patient says, I smoke 20 packs of cigarette every day, the doctor says, if I tell him stop smoking, he will never listen because he is a rebellious person. He is a hardcore enjoyer. Doctor says, okay, now smoke 2 packs of cigarette. A person who is outside the door, a doctor is telling a patient smoke 2 packs of cigarette. The person who is sitting outside the door overhears it. He has overheard doctor giving medicine of smoking 2 packs of cigarette. He says, oh, smoking 2 packs of cigarette is the goal of life. That is not the goal of life, because he has not understood who are the patients for whom the doctor has given the medicine. Similarly, the Vedas gives us the medicine for different patients. Vedas understands that not everyone in this world are going to focus on Paramartha, Parodharma. Many people are going to just caught up in Swadharma. Hence the Vedas are there to direct those only people who are just focusing on Swadharma. But there is a section of Parodharma in the Vedas, but as I said, people, while trying to find out all the varieties of enjoyment, the process of enjoyment given in the Vedas, they completely get misled and misfocused and leave the Parodharma topics which are given in the Vedas. Next verse. भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया अपाहृत चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिकः बुद्धिर् समधो न विधीयते. 41st verse, Lord Krishna said, Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana. Here he says, Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam Vyavasayatmika buddhir samadho na vidhiyate. Lord Krishna says in the 41st verse, O Arjuna, intelligent person is the one who is focused on performing the occupation duties of the soul. In the 44th verse, he says, who are those foolish people who cannot invest their time, energy, talent, skills, and facilities for performing the occupation duty for the soul? Why? Who are those foolish people? Why they cannot focus on performing the occupation duty for the soul? In the minds of those who are too attached to the sense enjoyment and the material opulence, who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. Lord Krishna says, Bhogaishwarya prasaktaha. Asaktaha means interested. Prasaktaha means overly, driven away. Overly driven away from what? Bhogaha Aishwarya. Bhoga, I want to enjoy. Aishwarya, I need to accumulate wealth. Taya apahruta chetasam. See this person who is standing? His entire chetasam, his entire mind, intelligence has been occupied in only Bhoga and Aishwarya. For him, Vyavasayatmika Buddhir, the intelligence to invest his time and energy for the occupation of duty of the soul, Samadhona Vidiyate, he will never ever be able to achieve because he is completely caught up and because he is running behind all these worldly desires. This is Bhogaishwarya Prasaktanam. This Bhogaishwarya Prasaktanam is where we are just running behind money. Money brings me, enjoyment. I'm just running after this wealth and, enjoyment. While we are running after this, we forget they are not your goals. Facilities are meant to fulfill our life's objective. They are not our end results. When the person is running after this worldly desires, he forgets Vyavasayatmika Buddha, which is to perform the devotional service to the Lord. This is the world we are living in. Very, very important for us to understand this. Bhogaishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Apahruta Chetasam Vyavasayatmika Buddha Samadhauna Vidiyate. If we are just running after the wealth and the beauty of this world, devotional service to the Lord, we cannot achieve. Next verse. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasto Niryogakshema Atmavan. The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties of gain and safety, and be established in the self. Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. Kshema Atmavan. Lord Krishna says, focus yourself for the safety of the self. Be established in the self. Jesus Christ says, what is the value of achieving the entire world with the loss of your own soul? So Lord Krishna again alarms. The Vedas mainly deals with the three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. As you see, we are all puppets, and the nature is actually making us to dance according to their tunes. What are the threats refers to? The threats refers to the goodness, passion, and ignorance. This goodness, passion, and ignorance makes us to go after the rat race. In this rat race, we might get into a situation, I lost so many millions of dollars. The dualities of the world. And immediately after some time he says, I earned so many millions of dollars. Some period of the time I say I am so excited in my life. Some period of the time I am so frustrated in my life. I have got so much of wealth. I don't know how to protect it. I am fearful. These dualities are going to bind us irrespective of, gain, loss or gain. So Lord Krishna says, Vedas finally deals with these three modes of material nature. These three modes of material nature, goodness, passion, ignorance, makes us to dance. So, Nistraya Gunya Bhavarjuna, come out of these three modes. So he says, extend your understanding beyond the Vedas. Don't get caught up in only the flowery words of the Vedas. Flowery words of the Vedas are going to only keep you in the dualities. And these dualities are going to give you anxieties for gain and safety. How much I gained? How can I save it? Nitya Sattvasto, be situated in the pure goodness. Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. Give this entire faith of how can I protect it? How can I, what is going to happen? Because I'm just working, I don't know what is going to happen in my life. All this fear, just leave it, just focus on your duty, performing the devotional service. So, when you focus on the Paramartha, we attain the spiritual nature. The spiritual nature works in the platform of pure goodness. There is no dualities, there is only love. Hence, Krishna is now itself is telling Bhagavad Gita will never ever give you flowery languages. Bhagavad Gita is the matured fruit of the Vedas. When you boil the milk, condense it, its taste keeps on increasing. When the condensed milk is given, it is like Bhagavad Gita. Next verse, 2.46. Yavan artha udapane sarvatah samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. This verse is very, very tricky. 99 people out of 100, they misunderstand, misquote it, and completely lose their aim in life. The translation, all the purposes served by the small well can at once be served by the great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Very important, please understand the meaning. While I'm speaking, you keep looking at the translation. All the purposes served by the small well. In the villages, we used to have small wells. In villages, they used to have multiple wells. One well for taking bath, one well for drinking water, one well for washing clothes, washing utensils. This was in the older times. So, here it says all the purposes served by the small well can be at once be served by the great reservoir of water. Well, how about if the village has a river flowing by? Then they don't need to worry about the small well. They can go directly to the river. People can take bath, people can wash their clothes, people can actually drink water. River satisfies all the purposes. One river flowing through the village can serve all the purposes served by multiple wells of the village. Here, Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu, if you go through all the Vedas, certain sections of the Vedas speaks about the Karma Kanda, how to achieve so many things. Certain sections of Vedas tells you how to earn money. Certain sections of Vedas tells you how to, get a beautiful wife. All the different Purusharthas. But at once can be served by one who understands the purpose of the Vedas. Who understands the purpose of the Vedas? One who created it. Though Vedas gives you all the medicines for achieving temporary goals of this world, if you surrender to Krishna, who is the author of the Vedas, Krishna gives you everything, and he also gives you Vedanta Krit Veda Videha Chaham. By all the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of the Vedanta and I am the knower of the Vedas. If you surrender to Krishna, if you serve him, Brahmanasya Vijanataha, by serving the one who knows the purpose behind it, you have at once served everything. So similarly, it's very, very important. There was a story where, father wanted to understand who is intelligent, whether Ganesha or Kartikeya. So the father told Ganesha and Kartikeya were fighting that I am the intelligent person, I am the intelligent person. Father told, okay, both of you go around the world, and whoever comes in, whoever reaches back to me fastest, they are the most intelligent. Then Ganesha and Kartikeya said, okay, fine. Then father said, ready, said, go, start. Both started running. Then Kartikeya went around the world, going around the world. Lord Ganesh went around the mother and came back to the father and said, I have traveled throughout the world and came back. Kartikeya took ages and ages to travel around the world and come back. Ganesha came in few minutes. And when Kartikeya came back, father said Ganesha is the winner. Ganesha came in few minutes. Then Kartikeya said, how is it possible? Millions of miles you need to travel around. It takes, ages. Then father said, how did you achieve? Lord Ganesh said, I just circumambulated my mother and came back. Similarly, Vedas is like a vast ocean. Mother of the Vedas is Krishna. If you just circumambulate Krishna, it is as good as knowing the Vedas. If you serve Krishna, it is as good as satisfying the purpose of the Vedas. Isn't it not wise to actually fulfill the essence of the Vedas instead of trying to crack our head, going into the details of the Vedas, getting confused? This is the Lord Krishna. He's advising Arjuna that you need to follow my instruction. Hear the instruction of Bhagavad Gita and fight in the battlefield. You don't need to understand all this justification. You don't need to give, because I am the knower of everything. If you just serve me and follow my direction, follow my instruction, it is as good as knowing everything in this world. Here comes a famous verse of Bhagavad Gita where everyone quotes this to justifies this to run away from actual work. 2.47 Karmanyevadhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palahetur mate sangosva karmani. You have right to perform your prescribed duty, but you you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities. Never be attached to not doing your duty. Krishna, everyone says karmanyevadikaraste. You need to perform your duty. Work is worship. I am doing it. But they do not understand. They are doing the just swadharma. They have not understood the parodharma. Work is worship. Then donkey is the most worshipable deity. Because donkey worships the master like anything. And just works all the day. So swadharma of donkey is to labor. So if work is worship, then donkey is the most, the objectable, worshipable deity for all of us. He is the model if work is worship. No. Ma paleshu kadachana. So what are the various scenarios we have when you actually start doing the work? When you start doing the work, the first scenario, first thought process goes in, the venture will give me results in next 2 years. All my problems will be solved. If I earn money in this business, next 2 years it is going to give me a lot of money. I will be happy. With a money-centered person, when he starts working in the business, it's going to frustrate him because he's only looking for money. When he becomes money-centered, goal-centered, with just earning money, business is not his aim, but the money is his aim. Little distractions from the business, little loss in the business frustrates him. Because he is not involved in the business, but he is only involved in counting money. So, in the first scenario, karmanyevadikaraste ma paleshu kadachanaha. Phala, if you are just running after, our life will be filled with anxieties. What if I don't get money with this business? What is going to happen? Before even starting the business itself, we are with anxieties. Next scenario. The person thinks the business what I'm going to do, it will not be successful because I do not have right skills and talents and facilities. So because of my talents, skills and facilities, this business will be successful. Since I do not have proper talents, I will not be successful, hence I will not do business. So thinking that the business will not be successful, he will end up in frustration while doing the business. Each little bit difficulties comes in the business, he thinks that low esteem. He thinks, oh, I do not have skills, I do not have skills, I do not have skills. Low esteem person gets frustrated with each and little failure, he gets frustrated. What is the third scenario? Third scenario, the person says, I will not do this work itself. This is too much for me. I do not know anything, I will not do this. So, while doing this, although his mind is always involved in the business of starting, but he runs away from that, he becomes a cause of frustration also. Never be attached to not doing your duty also. You cannot say that I don't know, I will not do this. Then you will become the cause of the failure of the duty. Why Krishna is telling this? Arjuna is saying that I gave so many justifications, I will not fight. Now Krishna is telling, don't give justification to run away from this battlefield. If you run away from this battlefield, the results of this battle, you will become the cause for it. Anyhow, those people in the battle, they are going to die. Do you want to become the cause of this? Then what is my learning from this? Learning from this is we should be attached. We should love the work what we do. We love the work what we do. We should have passion. We should invest our skills, talents, and facilities with the work what we do. We should enjoy the work. We should have a mentality that Lord has inspired me to start this work. I like doing this work. This is very, very thrilling work I am doing. I'm loving it. I will do my best. I will do best of my talent, skills, and facilities. I will invest. The results, let me not worry about. Results are not in my hands. I pray to Lord, let Him take care of that. That is a positive mindset. This is the meaning of karmanyevadikaraste mapaleshu kadachana. Next verse, 48. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya asiddhyo samo bhutva samatmam yoga uchyate. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all the attachment to the success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. Krishna told Arjuna, oh Arjuna, you are thinking, what if my relatives are not going to be there? How I am going to enjoy the results of this battle? I am going to win the kingdom. I want to see my Bhishma. I want to see my teacher Dronacharya. I want to see my Purohit, Krupacharya. I want to see all my brothers who insulted us, to see that we got the kingdom. Success or failure, don't be attached. Perform your duty. Your duty is to fight. What is the profit? What is the loss? If you start looking through this profit and loss, what is going to happen? Lord Krishna says in the next verse. When you forget your, ambition, attachment to the results, if you don't justify and you just do this fighting in the battlefield at the instruction of me, becoming equipoised, that is called the yoga. 49th verse. Dure nahi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddhau sharanam anvicha krupana palahetavah. O Dhananjaya, keep all the abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are the misers. What a beautiful way Lord Krishna is concluding. Lord Krishna is saying, keep all the abominable activities, sinful activities at bay. Don't even touch them. How can you leave sinful activities? Keep them on the bay only by Buddhi Yoga Dhananjaya, only by investing yourself in Parodharma, engaging in the devotional service to the Lord. When we understand the work, we are doing it for the satisfaction of the Lord, we will always ensure that we do not cheat. People who are not, having a proper understanding of the goal of life, who are uncultured, who do not even understand what is Bhagavad Gita in India today, most of the people do not even understand what the goal of human life is, do not have an understanding, knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Because of lack of this culture, today in India, most people in this world, in India, are in corruption. Why corruption? Because they do not have culture. Cultureless leads to corruption, dishonesty, cheating. For example, if a student is studying for the exam, if the teacher says, I will give you the question paper. The student needs to study physics 1 year. When the student knows he will have the question paper for the exam, which is going to come in 1 year, will the student will have love for physics? She will not even love the subject, because she will be only thinking about my aim is to get the marks. Question paper is coming to me. So let me just prepare for those questions and answers. She tries to memorize the question and answer, not even understanding the subject. He will not even invest God-given talents, skills, talents and facilities to understand physics throughout here. The unlimited amount of knowledge that Krishna has given, the power Krishna has given the brain of the individual, he wastes the brain, not even investing to understand the subject, because his aim is to get the marks, and he has somehow or the other found the way to crack the exam through illegal means. This is what the meaning is. Krupanaha palahetavaha. Krupana means miserly, Brahmana means wise, broad-minded. In Sanskrit, so beautiful Sanskrit is. Who is Brahmana? Brahmana means broad-minded, not just one who has this, 5 rupees thread. This Brahmana is not that one. Brahmana means the broad-minded person. Broad-minded person in this is the student, is a broad-minded person, a Brahmana who invests. Though the teacher says, I will give you the question paper, student says, I do not want the question paper, I want to study well in this subject, or learn the subject well, earn marks honestly. That is Brahmana. Krupana is, okay teacher, please give me the question paper. You park the book and you just spend time meaninglessly. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ube sukrita dishtute tasmad yogasya yujyasva yogaha karmashu kaushalam. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. Krishna concludes, Yoga karmashu kaushalam. Yoga means person becomes obedient to the work. Kaushalam, he tries to develop the skills, talent, facilities in this work and invests in his Swadharma activities. And he wants to be honest, he wants to have integrity, he doesn't want to cheat, because he understands that this is the only way by which I can perform the occupation duties of the soul. The only way I can reach the soul is through this body. I have the hands, I have the eyes, I have the ears, I have the nose, I have the tongue, I have the legs. Let me invest this bodily instruments that is given to me by performing Swadharma, by honestly performing my duty. If I honestly work for the satisfaction of Krishna, I will be able to perform the occupation of the duty of the soul. Hence, yogaha karmashu kaushalam. This understanding is karmashu kaushalam. This is the art of all work. This is Lord Krishna is saying. So it's very, very important that we need to develop culture. Lord Krishna spoke about Swadharma, and Lord Krishna is establishing Parodharma, which is the highest philosophy by which one can actually purify their Swadharma. Without Swadharma, Parodharma is not possible. Swadharma has to be practiced with integrity, honesty, and with values. As soon as we do that and we understand the purpose of this to satisfy Krishna, Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurnandanaha. This is the first verse which I started, and I am ending this. That intelligent person is focused in performing the occupation duty of the soul, and while performing the varieties of Swadharma, we need to understand one vision. One vision is to satisfy Krishna, satisfy the Lord. Hare Krishna.